So I am pleased to introduce today's speaker. This year's Luncheon speaker is Semenya McCord, a vocalist, music educator, and composer. Semenya earned her degree in music education from Knox College in Galesburg, Illinois. Daughter of the late singer and guitarist Ken Henderson, she started her graduate study at University of Massachusetts in Amherst, where she worked with Horace C. Boyer, Max Roach, and Archie Shepp. While in Amherst, she composed 19 songs for the play Tomorrow Has Been Here and Gone, and composed and recorded the title song for Archie Shepp's Trumpet in My Soul. In 1988, she was awarded Outstanding Jazz Vocalist by the Boston Music Awards, and in 1990 received the Martin Luther King Jr. Award for Musical Excellence from the City of Boston. So if you could all please join me in welcoming our speaker, Semenya McCord.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much. It's been a great privilege to be here. Came over yesterday and was having a wonderful time watching y'all work it. You know, working it. I was singing Man in the Mirror. I was like, how do y'all young people know that song? That song is old, but y'all know that song. And music is my thing. And so I thought, rather than speak a whole lot of words, I usually find that I have learned the most from the songs I've listened to. And so if you don't mind, much of my presentation for lunch today is really going to come through some songs.
That's all right.
And let me start with one, since my dad, as a full-time musician, was kind of my idol, though in some circumstances he wasn't home very often. He was usually out on the road and in places for months at a time before we might see him for a couple of weekends, and then he was off to somewhere else. But it was always so great to finally get him home, and since Father's Day is a week away, I thought, well, I kind of dedicate what I have to say today to my dad, and I want to start with a song called Song for My Father.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
If there was ever a man who was generous, gracious, and good, that was my dad, the man. A human being so true he could live like a king, 'cause he knew the real pleasures in life to be devoted to, and always stand by me, so I'd be unafraid and I'd be free. If there was ever a man who was generous, gracious, and so good, that was my dad, the man. My dad and I would go walking, and we would be talking about love, about life, and all its glories. He'd tell me many stories. You know I miss my daddy's stories. All those times with my dad, the man. When I was there was ever a man who was generous, gracious, and so good, that was my dad, the man. A human being so true, he could live like a king. He knew the real pleasures in life, to be devoted to and always stand by me. So now I'm unafraid, and you know I'm free. Talking about my dad, the man. Thank you. So I wonder, I heard so many folks singing yesterday, it was great. And I thought, well, you know, it happens when you sing in school choirs and church choirs, or maybe just on your own when you think nobody else is listening. Because that was the way it started for me. We know we have people who wonder, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but maybe because of my dad, I just knew I wanted to get into music. I wasn't really sure how or where or what, but it had to be music. Now, do we have any basses here, singers who were basses? Any fellas, y'all like to sing way down in the cellar there? Yeah, nobody? Not today, huh? Not after lunch? Any tenors? Where's my tenors? Woo, all right, yeah, okay. I sing tenor in my church choir and in one of our local singing groups over in Galesburg. That's where I'm from. I grew up there, and then I spent about 30 years in the Boston area pretty much doing music. But I came back to Galesburg to see about my mother in 2003. And since that time, I've just gotten more and more involved with the community, kind of all over again. I'm running to people I went to high school with, and we had to meet and become new friends. Been a long time. Well, let's see, what about altos? Where are my altos? Altos, oh, come on now. Oh, all right, there you go. Well, now, that just leaves sopranos. Oh, the sopranos. Well, you know, when we save the best for last, sopranos. Now, But when I was in junior high school, in high school, and even in college, I was a soprano, believe it or not. So I guess as you get older, things just start changing. You know. But I was a soprano. And when I went after that, going into music, to go into college, I went to Knox College over there in Galesburg. So I'd already started studying with a voice teacher there when I was a junior in high school. Now we're going back some years, all right? I know the panel this morning was so wonderful, and I thought though to myself, they're telling terrific stories, real stories, and I hope everybody heard it. But I realized too, I said, yeah, I bet I got 20 years on each one of those panelists. So I have to go back a ways when I talk about when I was in high school and when I was in college. And there weren't a lot of choices if you decided you were going to be in music. The music was always classical. And there wasn't any jazz program going on or anything else, you know, writing music for movies or all the kinds of music careers that we find in colleges today. They just didn't have it like that. And so, since music was my thing, I went into classical music. I said, well, that's what it is, that's what I'm going to do. And you might find a little example because I listened to songs and I was singing recitals, and they might be something like this. I just want to show you the contrast. That's what you had. The classical soprano, right? I'm blessed to still have a little bit of that left up in there. You know, but I had a lot of water because the food is right here. Look at that food. I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, I'm going to eat this macaroni and I'm going to eat these beans and how am I going to hit that note? Well, anyway, that was then. And a few years after I graduated from college with my classical singing, I said, oh, but I've still got to find a way to do this music. Then I came across something else called jazz. Yeah. So this is what I'm a little more comfortable with these days. Now this song still comes from Porgy and Bess, same words, same melody. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and they tell me the cotton is high. Oh, your dad is rich, and your mom is so good looking. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Now one of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. I'll see you spread your wings and you'll take the sky. But till that morning, there ain't nothing gonna harm you, my baby. Hush, now, don't you cry. And it gives you room to improvise, talking about that summertime. The living is easy, baby. They tell me the fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's got plenty of money. Mama's looking real good now, honey. Don't you cry. One of these mornings, you gonna rise up singing. I'll see you spread your wings and you'll take the sky. But till that morning, there ain't nothing gonna harm you, my baby. Hush, now, don't you cry. All right, Dr. Ewing, yeah. So I just want to make the point. Thank you. Still get to that music, get to the music, one way or the other. But now what happened to classical music that would suddenly allow us to go into the jazz thing? And I find that over, 362 years, some people round it off to 400 years, in that time frame of the big business called the slave trade, that things changed in music. Now, they didn't really change culturally because we're still doing it here, right? Doc Ila, and what I heard yesterday, and I hear with the 7th and 8th graders that I work with in one of the middle schools in Galesburg, you know, we got the hip hop, we got the rap, and the whole function, I tell them, you know, it's powerful because it has deep roots. It's not that it's all that new. We have always been talking about what's going on in our community, what should go on in our community, what should not go on in our community, by putting it in poetry, in rhythm, in song. We've always done that. And so we could look back at a variety of songs that come to us from Ghana, from Senegal, and so many more. I can't begin to name them. That's a whole nother session sometime in the future, because that's one of the things I love, looking at our history, why it is so powerful, because we have always managed to communicate like that. So, you know, it takes a civil war to finally end that time of that big slavery business, and where the songs have become work songs, the songs have become spirituals, and they still told the stories and moved people through the day. But after the war, then we find a new kind of song that people call the blues.
All right now.
All right. So you know something about the blues? Well, and they say the blues is a type of music and it's a type of attitude. And I know some of y'all got some attitude. I've seen it. I've been hearing it for the last 2 days, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I've seen it. So you got the music for it. But the beautiful thing about the blues, it talks about what's going on right now. So I could sing some old blues song, you know, some words that were written decades ago. But the power of it is in today. So let's see, I don't know, there's so much positive going on, especially here these last couple of days and tomorrow. But if anybody has something that ever gave them the blues, let's see if we can put that into words here. Something, no money. I hear you. I think people are agreeing with that, no money. All right. Anything else? We got no money. With no money, there's not much else you can do, right? Any other blues items? Sources? Uh-oh, cell phone got cut off. Because of no money. Well, there you go. Well. So we're just trying to take what's up with us right now. And that makes a real good blues. Because we have always done that. Didn't get no money this morning. Thought I was due for a check. Oh, I didn't get no money this morning. Whew. And I just knew I was due for a check. Well, somebody came along and said they was me. And they went off, well, what the heck? I wish I had my cell phone on, but it's just turned off and gone. I said I wish I had my cell phone on. Has it ever been turned off and gone? I lose touch with so many of my friends. Oh, I hope this life of technology with cell phones just never ends. I've been down so long. Now these are old words. Down, don't worry me. It's about attitude. It's about attitude. I've been down so long. Oh, but down. Don't worry me. I just sit and I wonder, where can my good friends be? So I'll see if some people have the blues. Yeah, we'll let the blues kind of fade out here. I only have so much time here. I know everybody ate, ready to get out into the sunshine. So we'll phase the blues out there, please, Doc. But you might have a you know, an attitude and a way to put it into the music. And all of these are roots of where we end up with hip hop and rap. I hope that's where you see where I'm going. That's where we're going. And the blues is a big root for this music that ends up being called jazz. Now, I like to think that I've done a lot of school assemblies. It's one of the things I did while I was in Boston. We had, that is the next one, though. We had 16 years of doing school assemblies. I had a pianist, a bass player, and a drummer, and we did a program called Journey into Jazz. And so it went through this history a little bit, and then we get to about the 1940s, and I would get to say, hey, you know, this was the first rap song. Now, people didn't really use that word then, or when they did, it had a different meaning. Musicians in the 1940s used the word rap, but that's when they were trying to get over on some lady, you know. Like, hey baby, let me rap to you, you know what I'm saying? That was rap then. So you see, y'all just changed it a little bit, you know. It's kind of still got some of the same get to you that it had then, but that was the way it was used in the 40s. So this might be the first rap song written by a man named Nat King Cole. Now he talked about a message using a couple of animals that most people wouldn't even think about. He used a buzzard and a monkey. Now, does everybody know what a buzzard is? I have to check on that, because we don't have that word around. No? How about a vulture? Have you heard that word before? Okay. So it's the same, yeah, it's the same thing. We just get, you know, different words. Buzzard, it's a big, ugly bird. But it's slick, it's cool. It's real slick, this big, ugly buzzard. And the buzzard comes along, and the monkey, who is kind of like everybody, you know, the monkey's out there, interested, curious, wants to see what's going on, do things it's never done before. And so the monkey kind of represents all of us. And the song is a bit of a warning about the buzzards you meet in life. I bet you met some already, haven't you? Think about it. The big, ugly, slick buzzards. They're around, baby. I'm telling you, I'm warning you. They're out there. So we see what happens when the buzzard and the monkey manage to get together. A buzzard took a monkey for a ride in the air. The monkey thought that everything was on the square. The buzzard tried to throw the monkey off his back. The monkey grabbed his neck and said, hey, listen, Jack. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Ain't no use in diving. What's the use in jiving? Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. The buzzard told the monkey, you're choking me. Release your hold, I will set you free. The monkey looked the buzzard right dead in the eye. He said, your story is so touching, but it sounds like a lie. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and do right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. He said, now buzzard would come up and say, the buzzard told the monkey, you're choking me. Release your hold and I'll set you free. The monkey looked the buzzard right dead in the eye and said, your story is so touching, must be a lie. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. So you met some buzzards, have you? Yeah, thinking about it. You probably call them some other names, but buzzard works. Buzzard works. Well, now you know, I love this song, but I'm looking at our time factor, so I might have to fade it on down, because that's the gist of the story. And again, it's a warning, and I like to say 1941, the first rap song. The first rap song. But about that same time, early 40s, people are really caught up in putting out messages with their songs. And one of the ladies that I listen to, and from time to time I get to develop a whole show around her and pay tribute to her music and her life, is a woman named Billie Holiday. Yeah. Now, Billie Holiday had a tough time, but for her, music was also the main thing. Of all the kinds of work she ended up doing, some of it, well, I guess we could say not particularly legal, and some of it definitely not fun or clean, and yet it was all geared toward her having opportunities to sing, to share her music. Now, she sang songs that a lot of other people wrote, but she wrote a few herself. And one that she wrote I'd like to close with this afternoon, because I think it really fits today as well. Now, you all have come and maybe met new people here. It's obvious that there are some of you that know each other very well, and maybe this is the one place you see people once a year for a while, which is a tremendous, tremendous inspiration. And I know you feel it, though we can't always put words on that feeling. But you know, you have a project sometimes in school, or maybe it's in church, might just be around the house. You're supposed to get with somebody, your brother, your sister, or a friend, and do something important. And it's all working. You got a plan, you're working on it. And then the day comes for that one thing to happen, and they don't show up. Now, maybe they're sick, or something really happened, and they couldn't be there. But people expect you to go ahead and complete the plan all by yourself. And you're worried about it, but you go ahead and you try. Now, have you ever been worried about something, but you went ahead and you did try? Does that happen to anybody? Yeah? Okay. So even though things were tough and you had a big plan, and your friend or your pal or your brother or sister, they didn't show up, you did go ahead and not give up, right? Yeah? How many people would not give up? And you say that, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. Well, see, that's the beautiful thing here. Because I think Billie Holiday captured that attitude in the song. And she also tells us, if you don't give up, God is going to bless you. Because you're going to have your own. Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. Your mama may have, your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Well, the strong, they get more, while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets, they don't ever make the grade. Your mama may have, your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Crowding round your door, but when that money's gone and you're spending friends much anymore. Your rich relations, oh, they'll give you just a crust of bread or such. You can't help yourself, but honey, don't you take too much. Your mama may have, your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr.